Hey guys, what's up? You're watching TbonesTech. In this video, I'm going to be doing a review over the Canon 10 to 18mm f4.5-5.6. Now in this video, I'm going to be doing a complete review over this lens, and I'm also going to be doing some zoom tests. Now this lens only works on Canon's APS-C size sensor cameras, so that means all the Rebel cameras and the 7D series and the 60D, 70D series will all be compatible with this lens. Now if you have a camera like the 5D Mark III or the Canon 60 or the Canon 1DX, those cameras will not work well with this lens. Now this lens uses STM focusing motors, so it's going to have very fast and silent autofocusing, and I'm going to focus on a couple of different things around the room to show you guys how silent this lens is. So now that my camera is in autofocus mode, I'm just going to focus on a couple of different subjects. So as you can see, the focus was very snappy, and as soon as I pressed the button, it found focus and snapped that image. It is basically just as fast as my L lens is. Unfortunately, when manual focusing, because it is a wide angle lens, it's hard to find a good focus when looking down the viewfinder. So if you're manually focusing this lens, you're going to have to switch it to wide view and then focus it from there. If you want more information about focusing, check my focusing explained video right here. This lens is very small and lightweight. Right now you can see it on my Canon Rebel T3, which is one of the smallest Canon DSLR bodies, and as you guys can see, it is very small. It's just a teeny bit bigger than the Canon 18 to 55mm lens. I am going to be comparing this lens to the Canon 18 to 55mm lens in a separate video, so if you're interested in that, make sure to click the screen right here. Now this lens actually does have image stabilization. Now a long time ago, the majority of wide angle lenses didn't have image stabilization because you didn't really need it anyways. Only the telephoto lenses had image stabilization. Because this is a 10 to 18mm lens, you could shoot safely at 10mm. At 10mm, you could shoot safely at 1/10 of a second, and your images wouldn't be slow. So now that it has 4-stop image stabilization, you can stop down your shutter speed 4 times, and your images are still not going to be blurry. So that is pretty incredible. Also, this image stabilization is going to be great for making videos. Now I've used a lot of lenses, and I have to say this Canon 10 to 18mm lens has some of the smoothest zooming throughout the zoom range that I've ever seen in a Canon lens. So when you're zooming from 10 to 18mm, it is very smooth. Now the best thing about this lens is the price tag. Coming in at $300, you really can't go wrong. This is the first cheap wide angle lens that Canon has created for the EF-S mount, or even the EF mount. This is the cheapest wide angle lens that Canon has created to date, and in my opinion, it's one of the best. Now a lot of you are probably considering getting this Canon 10 to 18mm lens or getting the Canon 10 to 20mm lens. Now the Canon 10 to 20mm lens is a much bigger lens. It also does allow an extra stop of light. So is it worth it to get this lens or to get the Canon 10 to 22mm lens? Now in my opinion, it's worth it to get this lens. For half the money, you really can't go wrong. This lens does have image stabilization, and the Canon 10 to 22mm lens does not have image stabilization. Now, the Canon 10 to 20mm lens is also a very old lens. I think it's around 7 years old, and this lens is brand new, so it's utilizing the newest technology out there. Now something to note, when your camera is turned off, you cannot focus with this lens. The camera has to be turned on to be able to focus with this lens. Now unfortunately, this lens does have a very slow aperture. When shooting at 10mm, its fastest aperture is f4.5, and when shooting at 18mm, its fastest aperture is f5.6. But keep in mind, this is a wide angle lens, so you can shoot at 1/10 of a second and your images are still not going to be blurry. Plus it does have 4-stop image stabilization, so you're going to have a hard time actually getting blurry images even when you are compensating for the slow aperture with a slow shutter speed. That was my only concern when buying this lens, but after buying it and using it for a little while, it didn't even become a concern anymore. I really didn't care that it was a slow lens. I was able to work around it, and it really didn't give me any problems. Alright, so now I'm going to show you the difference between 10 and 18mm. Alright, so here's an example of this lens shooting at 18mm. Now you can see it looks pretty good, but we are missing a lot. This is as far away from the waterfall as I could get without a whole bunch of stuff getting in the way of my camera. So unfortunately at 18mm, this is the best I could do. This is the most I could fit in the frame. Now over here you can see it's dramatically different. As you can see, the entire waterfall is fit in the frame. You can even see close to where I'm standing, and you can also see a lot of the sky. So that is what 10mm is going to get you over 18mm. Thank you guys for watching this video. If you enjoyed it, make sure to hit that like button down below, and of course subscribe to my channel because then you'll be notified when I release new videos to my YouTube channel. If you guys have any questions, make sure to leave questions in the comments down below. I will make sure to answer all the questions that I get. Thank you guys for watching this video again, and I'll catch you guys in the next one.